recording. And so what I do usually, I check three things. One is the R functions this person created. And each function basically is description of the function and the function itself. So he created a function, he created a limited to the function, and then he extended it, how to apply it to different directions and different application. One of the things that I usually, in order for me to test a new package, yes, I can install it, but I can also run it in GitHub. So basically, the idea of GitHub is that if I'm going to use the GitHub, I can run it into my machine and use the GitHub as my way for doing so. So I hope you can see it. I don't know if I'm sharing it. I don't share my. You are recording, okay? No. Can you see my browser, or can you see everything?
Professor, if you go on the left-hand side of the leave button, there should be an upward-facing arrow. That's share your screen.
Okay, got it. Okay, sorry, my mistake. So let me start again. And I will start being more concise and more precise, because right now I'm all over the place. So let's start again, and I hope this one will be better. Nope, yes. Okay, so as I told you, I'm obsessed with visualization, and what I found is I'm trying to come up with the idea of creating something like that in visualization, and this is my project. So I'm always checking to see what works has been done. And one of the works that I often see in, hold on, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so one of the things that I often check is to see new updates on new application or new packages. This is one of the packages that I found, and the packages provide us some structure that we all like to see. The R code, the R folder, the data, the manual, and description and what it is entail. If I'm going to the R folder, you will see that he sorted out based on three functions, and he extend those functions to limited, length, and the package itself. So basically, he created 5 or 4 new functions that actually can work in order for it to operate. He also, in addition to that, he posted this package into GitHub. So in this case, sorry, I'm again all over the place. This is his package on GitHub. And I can run, someone turned, okay. And I can run my code if I will write the name of the GitHub account correctly. Instead of my name, I will run the code here and I'll force it. It will appear to me and I'll be able to run it. This is one way for me to test your packages. Is everyone understand that? Just make sure that I am not all over the place and I'm not talking too fast. So great. So the idea here is that the GitHub is not only a repository for your code, it's also ability for me as an R user to run your repository on my machine. So in this case, I'm going to review what he has done and be able to say, okay, this is look interesting. This is something that of interest to me. The issue of one of the things that I like you to apply or to show in your blog or even in your R package is example of the code or the function you created. This will give the user, not only me, but the user that's going to review your paper, your package, some ideas what it is entail. So basically, you're going to provide an example of how it's been done. So one of the example, someone in the last year provided an example. She wrote this example in her blog instead of the R package, and she showed what is the result of the function she created in order for it to display. So this is something that I want you to show the functions that you created and to see how it works and to see an illustration on it. You can post it on your R package, and this is example of the example, and this is the requirements that he gave. He gave a random numbers. He allowed us to see how it play out, and he created the data frame in order for it to apply, and he shows what it can do in order for it to run. So basically, he created a plot heat map and another plot and another plot in order for it to show, and in addition to that, he gave us a table. So this is the example that is usually very helpful example or help the reviewer to see what you have done. Another illustration that will give you some idea why is it so important. I'm going to go over one of the things that we did in the first year that I came here. We created, with another students, we created a Lotka's Law. Lotka's Law in scientific science is the idea of citing or measuring how many citation the author has. So we created a list of all the functions that we created. It was not many, but it was still part of the idea what it is. And we add comments to the table that we are using in order for us to write the function. So basically, we upload everything that is entailed for any user to come in and apply the Lotka's Law into to their own machine. And again, if I did not explain that, again, I would like to see that it will help the user who are going to review it and help him to or her to understand it. Why I'm so obsessed with peer review. According to my friends in Facebook and Google, because because of the coronavirus, everyone is working from home. So in order for the team in Google's and in Facebook to work together, what they do is doing peer review on the code. So when you or any other employee in Google finish their work, usually they're allowed to set up the code in order for other people to test it and to see what you have done. One of in the R platform or in the R environment, R Open Science created a repository where they are going to apply the peer review, and it's going to be a standard that we will need to go through in order for us to share our package or to share our result or to share our data. and it will be reviewed by many people in order for it to be more transparent and to be open to everyone else. So the idea here is that peer review is part of the system that everyone now works in the system, and I want you to take part of it. Yes, sometimes the peer review can be boring or not productive. Yes, sometimes the peer review is very critical and too much, but it will give you better sense or better understanding how what people are looking when you are looking at your work. It's really important because when you're going to graduate or when you're going to apply for a job and they will ask you to write the code and they will give it to their peers in the company or in the department or in the university to review it, everyone will have a different view and different understanding of the code you wrote. So the objective of the peer review is, okay, hold on, I have people waiting in the lobby. Hold on. Sorry.
Oh, I just approved. I clicked.
You did.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you. Okay, so the issue is that nowadays more companies than ever before use the idea of peer review and use it to advance the production, to advance the sharing of the knowledge in order for them to apply that. So how I'm going to test your peer review and what I'm going to do. So in your final project in the class, you have a categories that is basically you're going to review your peers in the class. Overall, your impression. The second is the quality of unique function. I am really want you to be creative. Open your mind. I don't mind if you will have 200 mistakes in your final, in your functions. But if you will have something creative that we can work after the class and fix it and make it more concise, that will be a blessing, and that's what I want to see. The issue of the libraries. What is the source of the libraries that you're going to see in the package? Example, if we will need to examine this package that is now posted on GitHub, on the R repository, and you can install it from your R machine without using the GitHub, this is what they're asking in order for them to do that. And this package was created in 2015. So it's been a long time since it was created, but still it's been used and it's very popular. If you will look at, hold on a second. I don't know how to spell now, I'm out. If you will look at the new R packages that are available now, and we don't have based on time, but if we will look at that, this is what they will share with you. And if you look at those packages in GitHub, here's the package, and this is what he has done. So you see the R functions, the build, the data, the instance, the manual, which is man, and other documentation that give you more directions what it is entail and how to the workflow of the package itself. Any questions?
Professor, I have a quick question, just clarification to make sure we're all understanding correctly. So once we create our package and load it into GitHub, we can test it ourselves to make sure that we would be able to load it from GitHub, correct? Like just how you tried
Correct.
to do it. Okay, thank you.
Correct.
And for the submission of the assignment, are we just submitting are we just submitting a blog link that also has a GitHub link as well, or?
It's up to you. If you only submit your GitHub, I want to see documentation saying example of your code. If you do not do the folder of the instant, which is the example of the functions, post on your blog example.
Okay, thank you.
Make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
Yes. Will we be assigned a classmate to review, or do we just choose someone? Is it multiple people that we have to review?
I automatically ask the Canvas. There's an automatic assignment to the peer review, so they don't ask me. They don't ask you as a student. It's automatically assigned you to your reviewers.
Okay. And as far as the weight of the review, how much weight would the review go towards our grade?
The only points that I'm trying to make is that I want the review that you will be able to see what you have done good and bad, and be able to embed that into future work if you are interested to continue to develop it, or a good practice for you if you're going to the market and you're going to receive peer review, you will know how to handle it.
Okay, I understand.
I'm not going, if your peer review slam you and they not give you a good mark, that will be fine. You still can get an A+ in the class. This is not my concern. My concern is that I want you to accept the idea that other people review your work and be open to it, because this is part of the philosophy of open source technology.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Freeman.
How closely do we need to stick towards our original idea that we submit? You know, if we get halfway through and we kind of feel that we want to go a different direction with it, is that also
fine?
Okay?
Fine, no problem. No problem at all. Ideas always change. It's part of the development. It's the way for us to develop it, or to make sure that we are still thinking about that and how we think about that. This is how we often apply to it. We change it.
I have a quick question. I saw in there, I'm sorry if you went over it, but I just want clarification for the S3 and S4 part of the rubric. Are you requiring to have both, or just one, or if you just stick to S3, that's fine?
That's fine. That's a good question. I'm not going to restrict you to anything. It's up to you. I want you to see your imagination. Again, R is not a formal language like Python or C++ or Java. There is a lot of imagination. There's a lot of creativity aspect to it. It's up to you. Your data, your analysis. How do you want to analyze the data? How do you see the data can fit to it? It's up to you.
Professor, I had a question. Will the final project be graded similar to the projects we've submitted before, or is it going to be graded slightly harsher, not as harsh?
I'm not. First of all, I'm not a harsh grader. So usually I'm very lean and I'm very understandable. So easy grader. So let me say that the grade for the final project is 60% of your grade. I will take into account if you did something outstanding, and I'll give you more than 60%. 60% of the grade. It's up to you. You are the one who's going to control it. This is something that I want you to come from you and do it well. That's my objective. I would not be concerned about your grade. Okay, what else? Anyone else?
I had another question. Do you have any more examples
Yes.
than the 4 that were provided that can be linked to us? Because I look at the 4 and while they're helpful and useful for looking at how they structured it, I'm still questioning how I should structure my overall GitHub for the final project.
That's a good question. Okay, so let me show you some examples. Some examples. Some of them are well developed, some of them are not. Some of them are missing some folders, and some of them can be even better. So the issue that I am concerned, or the issue of that I want you to see, is all of them had to have 3 folders: the data, the F functions, and the manual. If they do not provide example how the R functions work. And if you do not have the manual, just post it on your blog so people will understand what you have done. I would like to see the description. I would like to see the license. I would like to see the namespace and README as part of your package that you are going to apply. In order for me to run your package that you upload to GitHub, I need those components in order for me to apply or to run it on my RStudio. So those are the requirements. I hope you will be able to do that. If you have any question or concern, please let me know.
So you don't need the R data?
I do need the R data. So this is examples of people that did that. And again, each one of them has different look and different feel. Any other questions?
So I had a question for the license. Should it be part of a description or like a separate thing?
This is a great question. The license usually, we are in the R community usually use the GNU General Public License v3.0, which state that you can use it as a commercial, you can modify it, you can distribute it, and it's up to you to decide what you want to do it, but it is public domain. So if someone will steal your domain, your package and commercialize it, they do not have the right to do that. So you outline, example, what it states, and it is basically a law that outline what is the requirements that this license apply, and you will post it part of your package. There was a famous case 5 years ago that someone created a very nice R package, and some businessmen tried to steal it. They went to a court, and because it was under the creator of the package was posted as public license, the businessman could not show that he actually created this idea and this software, and he had to pay back for stealing the software. So this is a standard in our community about that. This is a good question.
Professor, to piggyback off that, off your answer, I know under the description there's an area for licensing where you can put which license you want to do. do you know if you use like Roxygen or something else, it automatically creates the license file for you, or is that something that we have to create separately?
It depends which one you create. The Oxygen will generate automatically.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, so
Yes, actually.
yes.
Yeah, so something I was wondering, back in module 12, when for the R Markdown, you had put a comment saying that I could something like I could put the Markdown like directly in my blog or something like that instead of like linking to it. And I was just wondering like what you meant by that, like how would that work?
So the
There's a little confused.
so the R Markdown now not only can create a PDF, it not only can create LaTeX, it also can create a blog. And it works. You have to download the package that basically create the based on the blog that you are using, and you can use the R Markdown to upload your own posting on the work that you are doing, which means that you can generate from the RStudio, you can generate your blog posting and upload it to your blog.
Okay, so does that mean is that like making an HTML file and then you just upload that HTML right up to the blog site?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Huh.
So they are becoming more advanced on it, and they are trying to apply all the blog platforms out there and create the packages that will work together. So you'll be able to report on your progress towards your final project or package. So you can create a blog posting on it based on the Markdown.
Okay, I'll look into that. That sounds pretty cool. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? I do apologize, but because of technical problems we face today, my mistake. That's why I'm bold.
No worries, Professor. Thank you so much for having this session.
Yes, thank you so much.
Any other questions you have? The only thing that I would like to ask and to be aware is that make sure that your GitHub is a little bit cleaner than mine. I did not do a good job on cleaning my GitHub. I will do it this summer. Make sure that if you are applying for a job or applying for some special publication or going for an advanced degree, or you want other people to look at that, make sure that the GitHub is cleaner, because GitHub is becoming the new website for everyone. So everyone can look at your work, make sure it's clean, and make sure that everything works, or make comments. You can tell a story out of it. So there's people that got a job because the GitHub was well organized, and it's becoming a standard how companies measured or evaluate you. And again, it goes back to the peer review. The aim of this is we need to be more transparent about the work that we do and how we do it. And GitHub and peer review give us this ability to share the work and be able to help other people to see what we are doing and maybe give us more insight to be more efficient. Okay, anything else I can help with?
I actually just thought of something else since you brought up GitHub. So in the package folder, there is already a git ignore little file. So I was wondering, when it's done and ready to put it on GitHub, can I just like push it like normal and it would like create a new repository in GitHub, or do I have to like create something on the GitHub website first before I can push this new package as a repository?
So you need to create a GitHub account, first of all.
Oh, yeah.
And then you need to create, when you are creating your account or your package, you need to create a package and be able to upload it to your account under the name of the package you decide. Make sure that the name that you decided, again, for the long run, if you want to post it or post your package in the R repository or in any other platform that nowadays share this, the R packages, you need to make sure that the name is available and no one else took this name. So it's becoming a competitive game that we are playing in order for us to do that. So make sure that you have a good name and you can identify your work that you do in the package with the name. Upload everything in that you can to GitHub as you do in that has when you created the package in your desktop. That means the data, the R functions, the manual if you want. If not, do it on your blog. Just make it as transparent as possible so everyone can have access to it. That's my request.
Right. Yeah. Of course, I was going to do that. I was just wondering if you had just like the technical process, if you had to create on GitHub first, or if you can just push it if it's already on your computer.
You have to push it to the GitHub. It will not automatically go there.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And since you brought up, making the name available, I was actually just trying to do that earlier today. In one of your videos, the person has uses the available function to test if it's available. I could not get that to work. Let me pull that up. Whenever I would try to type it in the console, I put library available to load it, and then I put available and then the name of my package. And it just said there's an error in validate key and could not find function validate key. So I don't know how to work around that.
I need to see it. I need to see the messages you got so I will understand it better. So
okay,
sure. Send me an email and with all the details, and I will look at that.
Okay, I'll send an email. Sure.
Great.
Thank you.
Anything else? One last thing before we will close. All the functions that you write will tell the story. It's not one function lead to another. It leads when you are analyzing the data, those functions analyze the data that you put forward. So basically, it's a story that with the functions you are trying to tell. So yes, one of the functions might be, an example, new model that you are thinking about, and it might be based on something that you saw from other references. It doesn't matter, as long as it is part of how the road to analyze your data, and the data can be not regular, something that is not regular, and that's where your packaging can help to sort this type of data and to help user to analyze this type of data. So one of the things, example, I used to work in, I started to work on analyzing students' comment, and there were some classes that students' comment were very extreme compared to others. So I was not able to generate one functions that able to capture everything. I had to break it down to many functions in order for me to create my student peer review and generate it. This is one of the problems we are facing when we have a data set that is really hard to analyze straightforward. So it's not one set that we are using this descriptive statistics or predictive analytics or a data model, and that's it, and we run it and then we get the result. No, we might need another functions, create another dimensions in order for us to analyze the data. You are telling a story. This is your story that you are using, and functions is the verbs that you are using to analyze the data that you are trying to explore or explain. Okay. Anything else? Last issue. No, again, my day is wrong all the time. So, nope, sorry. Okay, so one of the things that we often use is the idea of repository. Use GitHub to find new functions. So example, if you are running into problems and you're looking for new functions, and I cannot write today, and you can see a list of functions that people came up with, and they might work, they might not work. So it's up to you to decide how to you can implement them and how to apply them. I hope that makes sense or not.
If we do that and we implement a function from somewhere else on GitHub, how do we go about crediting that person?
In your note, you will say thank you, or you will say coming form, and you will say thank you, and you will implement that. Example, when you look at ggplot2, did you see how many R functions he refers to and implement in order for the ggplot to generate the visualization? It's more than 25 packages. He took those packages, took those functions, and he consolidated them in order for them to create the ggplot2. So you're not going to, I'm not asking you to create the whole picture, but you can tailor your picture with other functions, and you need, yes, you need to say thank you, and you can note it in your functions, like this person. He did not put it, but there is always someone saying, okay, you can say majority, and I would like to thank this person in that that I took the function from it. But you need to run the package, and you need to run his package in the background, his or her package in the background. Anything else? I can help with. So there's 2 dates. First date is the submission date, and the second date is the peer review, where you're going to review your peers in order for them to see what they have done. It's up to you how you're going to review it. You can run it from your own computer. Yes.
Hello. If we use GitHub to, like, if we run into an issue with our code and we use GitHub to try to find other people's codes to see if we can implement it in our own, how do we just go into the search bar? Like, say, like, I'm having an issue with my code with ggplot2. Would I go into the search bar and just put in ggplot2 to see if I can find someone else's code that I could I guess try to work into my code.
When you're running the ggplot, you said that you have problems, right?
Yes.
So the ggplot2, when they install it, it usually comes with a lot of packages.
Mm-hmm.
What version of the RStudio are you using?
I am not too entirely sure.
You will go to the RStudio and you will say help. Wait, where is it? About RStudio, and this is the version.
Okay. So do we have to have, like, depending on the packages that we're installing, whatever recent version of RStudio that we'll have will affect how our packages are installed?
No, because you're installing that, and if you have an old version of RStudio or a new version of RStudio, it should work to any RStudio or R application, wherever it is. That's the beauty of the R.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I see no questions. I see no anything. I will post this video on Canvas. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email me. This is my job. My job is to help you to become an R fanatic, like your professor. And if I succeed doing so, I'm very glad. But if not, I feel a failure. So when I'm going to post to first, you're going to review me, and I want you to be honest to see what I can do better or what I have done wrong in order for me to improve, because this is part of my job and I'm taking my job very seriously. So I ask that you will give me feedback, try to give me ideas, how can I be better of what I'm doing, because for me, it's really important. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed. I'm sorry about my mistakes with connection and not sending you the right information. I hope I will do it better next time. And I'll post this session online. Until next time, bye.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.